Okay, we ready?
Once you see you online, or once you see yourself.
Okay, Shabbat Shalom, and thank everyone for being here. Hope you had a great week, and those who are online, thank you for being here. We're going to begin our Kabbalat Shabbat service, and we're going to turn to page 5, but before we begin with Shalom Aleichem, we'll light the Shabbat candles, and so, Vicky, please come on up.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Yashkoach, thank you, Vicky. And now we'll turn to page 5 at the bottom half of the page, and let's begin by singing together Shalom Aleichem. Please join me. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei HaMalachim, Makadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech malachei hamalachim, Makadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu ni leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech malachei hamalachim, Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Seitchem leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech malachei hamalachim, Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Let's turn ahead to page 11, and we'll continue with the beginning of Kabbalat Shabbat with Lechun Eranana, Psalm 95, top of the page. Lechun Eranana l'Adonai, Nari aletzor yishenu, nekadam afanav betodah, bizmirot nari alo. Nekadam afanav betodah, bizmirot nari alo. The heavens shall be glad and the earth rejoice, the sea and its fullness roar, the meadows and all that grows in them exult, even the trees of the forest shall sing praise as Adonai comes to judge the earth, judging lands with righteousness and people with divine truth. Let's sing together Yismechu Hashamayim, middle of page 14. Yismechu Hashamayim, Hashamayim, Yismechu Hashamayim, Hashamayim, Yismechu Hashamayim, Betagel Haaretz. Yismechu Hashamayim, Hashamayim, Yismechu Hashamayim, Hashamayim, Yismechu Hashamayim, Betagel Haaretz. Yeram Hayam, Yeram Hayam, Yeram Hayam Umlo, Yeram Hayam, Yeram Hayam, Yeram Hayam Umlo, Yismechu Hashamayim, Hashamayim, Yismechu Hashamayim, Hashamayim, Yismechu Hashamayim, Betagel Haaretz. Exalt Adonai our God, and bow down at God's holy mountain, for Adonai our God is holy. Romemu, page 20. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu lehar kodesho. Let's turn the page to page 21. We'll continue with Mizmor LeDavid, Psalm 29. Please rise. Mizmor LeDavid, Havul Adonai Bnei Elim, Havul Adonai Kavod Ba'oz, Havul Adonai Kevod Shemo, Ishtachavul Adonai Behadrat Kodesh, Kol Adonai al Hamayim, El HaKavod Hirim, Adonai al Mayim Rabim, Kol Adonai Ba'koach, Kol Adonai Behadar, Kol Adonai Shover Arazim, Vayeshaber Adonai et Arzei HaLevanon, Vayarkidehem kemo egel, Levanon v'Sirion, kemo ben re'emim. Kol Adonai chosev lavotesh, Kol Adonai yachil midbar, yachil Adonai midbar kadesh, Kol Adonai echol el ayalot, Vayechesof ye'arot, uvehechalo kulo omer kavod, Adonai lamabul yashav, Vayeshev Adonai melech le'olam, Adonai yos le'amo yitein, Adonai yevarech et amo v'shalom. You may be seated. We'll continue now with Lechadodi. Starting on page 23, we will go through the first two stanzas on 23, the middle stanza on 24, and the final stanza on 25. And when we get to the final stanza, we'll all rise and face the entrance of the chapel to welcome Shabbat. And if you're at home, you would rise and face the entrance of your home. Pages 23 through 25. Lecha lecha dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabel la 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 la. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor belibur echad, Hishmi anu el meyuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, L'shem u'tiferet v'litchila la 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 la, Lecha dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki hi mekor haberacha, merosh mikedem nesucha, sof ma'aseh b'machashavat echila la 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 la. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, Pene Shabbat Nekabela, middle of 24. Heat oreri, Kieva orech umiori, Uri, Shirda Behiri, Kevod Adonai Alayich Nigla la 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 lechadodi, likrat kala, Pene Shabbat Nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala pene Shabbat nekabela. Bottom of 25. Please rise and face the entrance to welcome Shabbat. Boi v'shalom ateret bala gam besimcha u'v'tzola toch emunei am segula. Boi chala, la 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 lechadodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela, lechadodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela, la 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 la, lechadodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala pene Shabbat nekabela. You may be seated. Now that we've officially welcomed Shabbat, we are going to recite the Psalm for Shabbat, page 27 at the top of the page. Mizmor shir leyom HaShabbat, tov lehodot l'Adonai. ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון, להגיד בבוקר חסדך, ואמונתך בלילות, עלי עשור ועלי נבל, עלי היגיון בכינור, מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. The righteous flourish like the date palm, thrive like a cedar in Lebanon, planted in the house of Adonai, they flourish in our God's courtyards. We'll continue with Tzadik Hatamar, middle of page 28. Tzadik Hatamar yifarach, Keres balvanon iske shetulim beveit Adonai bechatzrot Eloheinu yafrichu or yenuvun beseva Deshenim verananim hiu lehagid ki ashar Adonai tsuri velo avalat habo. Before we continue with the Mariv evening service, I would like for us to jump ahead to page 178, and as the conflict in Israel continues to rage on and the hostages have still not been returned fully, we continue to pray for the state of Israel and for the Jewish people and the victims of this terrible conflict that's going on over there. So please join me on the top of page 178. We'll sing the beginning of Avinu Shebashamayim, and then we will recite the English prayer on the left-hand side of the page. Page 178. Avinu, Avinu Shebashamayim, Tzur Yisrael v'goalo. Avinu, Avinu, Shebashamayim, Tzur Yisrael v'goalo. Barech, Barech, et Medinat Yisrael, Reshit Michat Geulateinu, Hagen Aleha בעברת חסדך ופרוס עליה סוכת שלומך. אבינו שבשמיים, צור ישראל וגואלו. אבינו שבשמיים, צור ישראל וגואלו. Please join me, left hand margin of 178. Ribono shel olam, kabel na berachamim uvratzon et tefilatenu be'ad medinat Yisrael. Sovereign of the universe, accept in loving kindness and with favor our prayers for the state of Israel, her government, and all who dwell within her boundaries and under her authority. Open our eyes and our hearts to the wonder of Israel, and strengthen our faith in your power to work redemption in every human soul. Grant us also the fortitude to keep ever before us those ideals upon which the state of Israel was founded. Grant courage, wisdom, and strength to those entrusted with guiding Israel's destiny to do your will. Be with those on whose shoulders Israel's safety depends, and defend them from all harm. Spread over Israel and all the world your shelter of peace, and may the vision of your prophets soon be fulfilled. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. Lo yisa goy el goy cherev, lo yilmedu od milchama. Lo yisa goy el goy cherev, lo yilmedu od milchama. Lo yisa goy el goy cherev, lo yilmedu od milchama. Lo yisa goy el goy cherev, lo yilmedu od milchama. Venomar, Amen. And now we'll turn back to page 173, and we will recite the Mishaberach prayer for those who are ill. If you have a name you want to add this evening, please go ahead and rise in your place. And after we read through the names on our list, we'll go around the room and you'll be able to say the name and think of that person at that time. And if you're online and want to add a name, then go ahead and unmute at that time as well. We will first sing the Debbie Friedman Mishaberach prayer and then go through our list. Please join me, top of 173. Mishaberach Avotenu Mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Tal ben Sarah, Shoshana bat Yochevet, Ilya Yisrael Richter ben Rachel, Chaviva Eliana bat Sarah, Fegahana bat Sima, Ira Zelig ben Yehudit, Binyamin Leib ben Devora, Yassel ben Basha, Esther Tenenbaum, Harvey Ruskin, Diane Shotaro, Rachel Langer, Lee Gershon, Jack Azuz, Gloria Yoder, Bacha Podos, Harold Albert, Andrea Kotke, Jennifer Brown Lerner, Eva Curis, Ken Gasser, Harvey Colchin, Marilyn Lafer, Jennifer Hayden, and Julia Dramero.
Marion Camerlingo, Angelina Pauling, Terry Lukanik, Stephen Lukanik, Patty Locks.
Anybody online?
Abby and Steve Mann.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Mishaberach imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. May they all find the healing that they so need and so deserve. We'll continue now with the Mariv service, the evening service, starting on page 39a. I invite everyone to please rise for the Barhu at the top of the page. Baruch et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. You may be seated. Please join me on the English side of 39a, the first blessing of Mariv. Baruch atah Adonai, our God, sovereign of time and space, whose word brings the evening dusk, whose wisdom opens the gates of dawn, whose understanding changes the day's division, whose will sets the succession of seasons and arranges the stars in their places in the sky, who creates day and night, who rolls light before darkness and darkness from light, who makes day pass into night, who distinguishes day from night. Adonai Tsevaot is your name, living and ever-present God. May your rule be with us forever and ever. Baruch atah Adonai, who brings each evening's dusk. U'mavir yom u'mevi laila, u'mavdil ben yom u'ben laila, Adonai Tsevaot shemo. El chai v'chayam tamim lo chaleinu le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, hamahari v'aravim. Page 40, Ahavat Olam. Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha Ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadeta. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu, B'shokveinu u'v'kumeinu, Nasiach bechukecha, v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, u'v'mitzvotecha, le'olam va'ed. Ki heim chayenu ve'orech yameinu, ve'orech yameinu, uvahem negeh yomam v'layla, yomam v'layla. Ve'avatecha al tasir mimenu le'olamim, baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. Page 41. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavecha ubechol nafshecha ubechol meodecha. V'hayu advarim ha'eleh asher anochi mitzavecha hayom alevavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibartam v'shivtecha beveitecha uvelechtecha v'derech uveshochbecha uvkumecha ugkshartam leot v'hayu letotafot beinenecha וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. We'll continue privately with the second and third paragraphs of the Shema, page 42. Adonai Elohechem, top of 43a. Emet ve'emuna kol zot ve'kayam aleinu, ki hu Adonai Eloheinu, ve'ein zulato, v'anachnu Yisrael Amo. God brought Israel from its midst to lasting freedom and led them through the divided water of the Sea of Reeds. As their pursuers and enemies drowned in the depths, God's children beheld the power of the divine. They praised and acknowledged God's name willingly, accepting God's sovereignty. And then Moses, Miriam, and the people of Israel joyfully sang unto you. Top of page 44, Micha Mocha. Micha Mocha, Ba'elim Adonai. Mi kamocha darba kodesh nora tehilot o seifele malchutecha ra'u vanecha bokeyam lifnei Moshe zeili anu ve'ameru Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed v'ne'emar kifad Adonai Yaakov u'ge'alo mi'ad chazak mimenu Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. We'll turn to page 45. We'll continue with Hashkivenu. We'll sing the beginning and then read the middle part in English on page 45. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Leshalom Ve'hamidenu malkeinu lechaim ufiros aleinu sukat shelomecha v'takenenu beitzah tova milefanecha Ve'hoshienu leman shemecha. Remove from us enemies, pestilence, sword, starvation, and sorrow. Remove the evil forces that surround us. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings. For you, God, watch over and deliver us. And you, God, are sovereign, merciful, and compassionate. Ensure our going and coming for life and peace, now and forever. May you spread over us your canopy of peace. Baruch atah Adonai, who spreads the canopy of peace over us, over all the people of Israel, and over Jerusalem. Uferos aleinu sukat shelomecha, Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. We'll continue with Veshamru and Chatzi Kaddish, page 46. Please rise. Veshameru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, lasot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, lasot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael oti leolam, ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz, uvayom hashvi'i shavat va'inafash shahabat va'inafash veshamru b'nei Yisrael et hashabat lasot et hashabat ledorotam berit olam. Yitkadal ve'yitkadash shemei rabav Be'almadi v'rakirute, be'amlich malchute, be'chayechon u'v'yomechon, u'v'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala, ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבם מברך לעולם ולעלמי עלמיה. יתברך יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה תאמירן בעלמא ואמרו Amen. We'll continue now with the private silent Amidah that begins on page 47 and concludes on page 52. If you are still reciting the Amidah, please continue. We will now turn to page 54 and we'll continue with the full Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash merabah be'almadi v'rak yirutei v'amlich malchutei b'chaychonu v'yamechonu v'chay d'chol Beit Yisrael ba'galav v'zman karim v'yimeru amen. Yehi shemei rabba mevarach le'alam u'le'almei almaya yitbarach yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitale v'yitalal shmei d'kodesha b'richu לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דאמירן בעלמא ואמרו אמן. תתקבל צלות ההון והתרון לכל ישראל קודם עוון וישמעיה ואמרו אמן. יהי שלום רבה מן שמיים וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו amen. We'll now turn to page 55. We'll continue with the Friday evening Kiddush. If anybody would like to have some grape juice, we have some cups here and the bottle of grape juice, so please come forward. And if you are at home, if you have your grape juice or wine ready, please go ahead and get that now. In a few moments, we will continue with the Kiddush.
Looks like a new cup.
You want to try?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm being successful.
I think you have to twist them. Like instead of twisting, instead of humming. She might too loud. You say stop.
Page 55. Savarim Adonai v'Rabbanan v'Rabotai, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit. Ki hu yom techila lemikrai kodesh, zecher litziat Mitzrayim. Ki yavanu v'acharta, ve'otanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, ve'shabbat kodshecha, be'ahava uvratzon, hinchalatanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. L'chaim. We'll continue with Aleinu, page 56. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'ateit gedula le'otzer reshit, shelo asanu kegoyei haratzot, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסר הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובהי מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד. על כן יכבד לך אדוני אלוהינו. ככתוב בתורתך אדוני מלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו At this time, we will take a moment to remember those in our community who are no longer with us. This Shabbat, we remember Alan Greenfeld, Ida Gans, Irving Hotchizer, Jeanette Frank, Nature Helms, and Octavine Malouf. And if there's anyone else you are remembering this evening, please take a moment to remember them in your mind and in your heart, and may their memory be for blessing and for goodness. We'll continue with Mourner's Kaddish, page 58. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah, ve'alma divara kirutei ve'amlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon u'v'chayei dechol Beit Israel ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shemei rabba mevarach le'alam alalme almaya. Yitbarach ve'yishtabach ve'yitpa'ar ve'yitramam ve'yitnaseh ve'yithadar ve'yitale ve'yithalal shemei dekudesha barichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tush bechata v'nechamata da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shalom rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. You may be seated. In a few moments, we're going to conclude this evening with Adon Olam, but before then, we have a few announcements. First of all, this coming Sunday is it's Sisterhood that's doing it, right? The game day, Sisterhood game day. That will be from 10 o'clock until 1 o'clock. And is there food involved?
Yes, free food.
Free food. Okay. Do we know what the free food is?
It's a light snack, cheese, crackers.
Okay. All right, so there will be snacks provided during the game day this Sunday. So please make sure to come by for that. Next Friday night, next Shabbat, things are going to be a little bit different. We are not going to be holding services here at the synagogue. Instead, we're going to have Kabbalat Shabbat with the Jewish community on the UNM campus. We're calling it Shabbat on campus, and we're going to have services at the Hillel House. It's actually going to be outside of the Hillel House, but at the Hillel House on campus. And there will also be a vegetarian potluck dinner, but it is a bring your own meal with you if possible. So that is next week, and that services start at the same time, 6 o'clock. There will still be Zoom access and Facebook access as well for those that cannot make it in person. But please do try to come. We are doing this in order to show our support to the greater Jewish community, and particularly on the UNM campus where they are dealing with daily anti-Semitism. And so we're trying to go there to show that they are not alone and that we will not be defeated during these times. Then shortly after that, we have our second night Seder. The deadline to RSVP is it's this coming Tuesday, I think. Yes. It's this coming Tuesday. That way we'll be able to give accurate numbers to Sharon and know how many people are going to come. The Seder is going to be somewhat Israel-themed to talk about freedom and redemption, and to also, of course, show our support to Israel as well. So please, again, get your RSVPs in by this coming Tuesday. And then Sunday, April 28th, is the Men's Club Pesach Deck Barbecue, which will begin at 6 p.m. And I believe there's RSVP for that as well, Jimmy. What's the deadline?
24th.
The 24th.
No, sorry, 25th.
25th. Okay. So April 25th is the deadline for that. And then May 5th is our annual meeting, which will be at 2 o'clock p.m. It is the meeting that is open only to members who are in good standing in order to kind of have a retrospective of the year, State of the Union kind of thing, and to also vote and swear in our new lay leadership and new board members and new officers. So that can only be done in person. Votes are not counted online at the moment. So in order to get your vote in, please come in person. And then also mark your calendars. I have one other thing that's not on the list. May 10th, that Friday night, is going to be another Shabbat Sparks program called Sparks of Psalmody, where we are going to have some additional musicians and singers join us in the service. And we're going to be doing the entire Shabbat service using Jewish liturgical music from the Renaissance period. And it's all going to be sounding like, Renaissance madrigals and things like that. You'll learn more at that service as to the history behind it and where it all comes from. And there'll be congregational participation. Some of our congregants will be singing in the service. There's going to be a lot going on. There'll be wine and light bites beforehand at 6 o'clock. The service will be at 7. And then there will be kind of an extended oneg, dessert oneg after the service. So please mark your calendars for that. If you have any more questions about that, you can actually contact Ellen Finston, since she's the person that runs the Sparks program. Did I miss anything? Okay. Did I miss anything, Jimmy? Am I good? All right, awesome. With that, let's go ahead and conclude with Adon Olam. And once again, since we're getting that much closer to Pesach, we will be doing another Passover tune. Page 211. Adon Olam asher malach beterem kol yitzir nivra le'et nasa v'chefso kol azay melech shemo nikra v'acharei kichlota kol levado yimloch nora v'hu haya v'hu hove v'hu hiye betifara v'hu echad v'ein sheni lehamshil lo lehachbira beli reshit beli tachlit Velo haoz vehamisra vehu eli vechai goali vetzorchev li be'et stara vehu nisi umanos li menat kosi be'yom mekra be'yado av kidruchi be'et ishan ve'aira ve'imruchi geviati Adonai li velo ira Adon olam asher malach Beterem kol yetzir nivra leit nasa bechefso kol azay melech shemo nikra dai dayenu dai dayenu dai dayenu 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 dai dayenu dai dayenu dai dayenu dayenu dayenu. Okay, that's enough. Yeah, some of you got that. Thank you. Okay, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Please join us for Oneg outside in the lobby, and we'll see you tomorrow morning at 9:30. Am Yisrael Chai, Am Yisrael Chai, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai, Am Yisrael Chai, Am Yisrael Chai, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. 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 Good Shabbos.